self-review of the policy. We'll probably have that at the next council meeting. Possibly like to see that. The local government fund resolution, if possible, should be passed tonight by the rules. I think everybody has all the calculations and everything for that at this time. The fire department report for May, there were 107 calls for service, 23 fire service calls, 84 rescue EMS calls. Of the 84 calls, 6 calls were for invalid assistant. There were no calls for overdose requiring Narcan. The department training for May, there were EMS drills presented by UH Lake Health. The top West cardiac devices, department shift drills for May. EMS was burns. The fire was fire cause determination. Hands-on performance job requirements, air lifting bags. The activity for May, annual maintenance was completed in the station, which was stripping and waxing the station floors. Both of the fire trucks passed their annual pump test, and our SCBA bottles completed the scheduled hydro testing. On Sunday, May 26th, the fire department participated in the ambulance Memorial Day parade. Inspections in the month of May, Mara Lake Police Department jail was inspected. Mara Lake Nutrition. March was inspected for an alteration approval, and we received the Cardinal Sports Bar a plan to be reviewed. Service anniversaries in May, firefighter Spencer, 39 years, firefighter Santos, 9 years. Okay, please fire report.
Good, thank you. Administrative Director, Ms. Martin, good evening.
I just wanted to let the council know that the page where the minutes are posted had a glitch in our two company very had to put in the third cuts. So
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
yeah. Sorry, my fire today. She said I wanted to let the council know that the page where the minutes are posted has a glitch and our IT company had to put in a ticket with WordPress. So that's not going to be out for the near future. And also just about the resolution for today on the 2024 R20. The only thing that has changed from previous years was the addition of the 0.75 mil for the Parks and Rec study. Otherwise, it's the same number as zero.
Thank you. Law Director, Mr. Lyons, good evening.
Good evening and, whoa, yeah, that's pretty loud. I have no report.
All right, thank you. Questions for the department heads? I have a question to start with. On 2024-R-21, is there a reason it needs to be passed tonight versus the next council meeting? And the reason I ask that is because we really just got the final draft of Exhibit A today. We didn't get a corrected spreadsheet showing now that they're allocating to the Lake Metro parks, how that's going to impact our money. I think I would like to see that personally before I agree to vote on it.
The direction that we had was, I think it could wait until next week. They said early July.
Right, I listened to the whole
Okay,
video
yeah, no, you're
recording, so
yes.
yeah. I would feel better having that information
I agree.
as a final, this is what we're signing off on kind of
Yeah.
thing. Anybody else, any questions for the administration?
Question.
Yes.
Do we have any kind of like employee handbooks or employee policy and procedure manuals that employees get when they come on board with us?
Do you have an employee handbook? I don't know. I can't verify that. Get it out. It's like, oh, it's like a big booklet in the office. Like where it's located, like a big binder.
So employees don't get a copy of it and it's not like online or anything where they have access to it?
It's just go to binder and the local where that these are all employee handbooks. So it's just showing to them like as far as I know. But I only been here for one week binder. On it. So.
Okay.
Yes, all the city policies are on fire.
Is there a way to make that available to everyone? I mean, just so everyone can be aware of what the policies are. I mean, we have an employee also up here that would probably benefit from, knowing all the policies. Rather than just having them in one binder.
Right, we could look to put that together. Yes.
Thank you.
Or make it a shareable document that all
Right,
employees
something.
have access to, like scan it, something like that.
Sure.
Anybody else? Hearing none, we will move on to board committee commission reports. Citizen Advisory Committee.
Citizens Advisory met on May 20th. We are going through all of the scoring of the 6 potential companies that have submitted an RFP. The scoring that we did rate this last meeting was project approach. We had lots of pros and cons to each company. We talked it all out. We scored them accordingly. Our next meeting is going to be on, I'm sorry, this last meeting was on past experiences. The next meeting is on project approach. And in that meeting, we should be able to finish with all of the scoring and give our suggestion to council of which one falls into the grading scale of what we're looking for as a city. And that meeting is June 12th at 6:30 p.m.
Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec Board met on Thursday, May 30th at 6 p.m. Following the swearing in of Tess Turi, board members present at this meeting included Pachapsko, Stefanski, Kozlowski, and Turi. Also present were Mayor Eva and Council President Johnson. Board members Moon, Bruce, and Wong were absent. A schedule of Star Seekers summer Saturday night events starting at 9:30 p.m. on 3 dates, June 15, July 20, and August 17 at Overlook Beach Park was discussed. Flyers are being created to help advertise the events. Planning is underway for the August 100th anniversary family celebration, which will be Saturday, August 31st at City Hall Park, and will include activity stations and refreshments. The annual City Fall Fest 2024 is planned for Saturday, September 7th. So far, a band has been booked, sponsorship letters have been sent out to local businesses. The citywide October Centennial event that is scheduled for Saturday, October 19th. Details are currently being finalized with Menor Harbor Yachting Club. Participants will include the Menor on the Lake Library Branch and the Lake County Historical Society. The pilot sale for the 100th anniversary commemorative t-shirts has concluded, and for the most part, the shirts turned out well, with approximately 30 requiring reprinting due to the company's error, and those are scheduled to be delivered on June 14th. The overage donated to the city from sales of 105 shirts in this window amounted to $120, or just over $1 per shirt. A wider campaign available to all has been opened, and advertising will begin this week once we clear up a small glitch in the logo with their art department. And this window has an ordering deadline of August 6th. This meeting was adjourned at 7:37, and the board will meet next as scheduled on Thursday, June 27 at 6:30 p.m. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning Committee.
Planning and zoning, met on June the 3rd, meeting started at 6 p.m. President was Suzanne Kaysen, Gary Leonard, Mike Sweeney, myself, Mayor Eva, Rob Johnson, Desiree Thompson, Skip Gray, and Gene Wong. First on the agenda was Mackenzie Parker, owner of the property at 7501 Southland Drive. She presented us with a drawing of for a fence for the property. Going over, the commission went over the fence and found that there was one little glitch that we couldn't determine from the right away how far the fence was going to be. So she's going to be coming back to the July 1st meeting. Number 2 on the agenda was a lot split 5510 to 5484 Chestnut. Owner Teresa Kane. Consolidating the lots, and the commission went over the consolidation of the plan of 2 parcels. Members reviewed the splits and moved the property lines on Chestnut Street. The move of the property lines per city ordinance must leave 7,500 square feet. Motion to approve these was made. Number 3 on the list was a daycare center. The daycare center, Ms. Bell presented, business owner, discussed daycare plans with the commission. The daycare will be located at the March Plaza next to Dollar Tree. One of the stipulations that she had there was that she wanted a playground behind the building. But was turned down due to the deliveries of trucks behind the plaza. The commission discussed the commission discussed that the state requirements for a daycare center. The motion for a 1-year conditional use permit with the following contingencies approved by the state of Ohio, meaning that all state requirements for the daycare center must be met. Also with signage is in place for children crossing to McNick Park, which would be considered as a playground area for children. Okay, the next number 4 was Cardinal Sports Bar. And we had Sharon Gibson, the business owner, and Heather Zravik present to discuss for the conditional use report. What was discussed was live music, and decided that the hours would be Monday through Thursday until 7 p.m., Friday through Saturday until 11 p.m. An 8-foot fence would be added instead of the 6-foot fence. The landscaping would need to be added as a buffer zone. Discussion of the liquor license was discussed with Ms. Gibson. And the liquor license is currently under the previous owner, Mr. Gallo, of Anderson Park, which is changing to the Cardinal Sports Bar. The commission tabled this conditional use permit contingent on the Mr. Lyons, the law director, reviewing the agreement between Ms. Gibson and Mr. Gallo, because Mr. Gallo said that he was going to let Ms. Gibson ride on his liquor license. Old business, Mario's 5609 Andrews Road violations. Park Street, trial hearing was set for 6/5/24. Joy's Royal violations and buffering of the screening area. The trash storage area was enclosure was built. It's Mr. Snyder, zoning inspector, contacted owner Connie. A fence around, funds are not available for her to put an 8-foot fence required, which has been going on for a few years now. There was no representation at the meeting. This would be tabled until July 1st meeting after discussion with the law director. Our general violations, the concrete apron was poured. No postal sign has not been replaced yet. Still, we don't know. They're still saying 6 to 8 weeks. Landscaping started on 6/3 and should be concluded by the end of the week. Remaining asphalt work should be on schedule. An email next on the agenda was new business, was an email sent to by Council President Rob Johnson to the Planning and Zoning Commission, Ms. Basin, to discuss by the commission the topic for buildings and businesses in the city in the process of remodeling. This was also sent to the zoning committee and discussion to be with the law director. That the meeting ended at 7:35.
Thank you. Community Development Committee.
Good evening. Community Development Committee meeting met on Tuesday, June 3rd, 2024 at 6:30. President was myself, Mr. Gray, Jeannie Wong, Kevin Bednar, Rob Johnson, Desiree Thompson, Axel Zander, and Zandra Parker of Savage Innovations. Two other companies were contacted by myself and neither one did not respond or failed to schedule a time to meet with the community for a website design. Oh, wow. Joe Petty of Savage Innovation was unavailable for a meeting tonight. However, he sent his two representatives. The community committee talked over some talking points with Xander and Sandra and Axel. Website design and maintenance, improvement and modernization of city website for better use experience, navigation and functionality. Website hosting and domain management. Went over website development priorities, website revamp and feature enhancements. Cover the topics of website development and branding. Improving communication technology management within the city and their project planning and scheduling. Summarization can be concluded as a summary is. Savage Innovations agreed to put forth a proposal to us for our website build by Friday, June 7th. They agreed to include reference of sites they have developed so we can review their work. They intend to migrate all of our current information over to an entirely new design site. Weeding out outdated information, adding builds for newer features and desired. Advantages of building a new included technical consistency throughout our updated building twos and ability to provide a future expansion, which would be tough with the current hodgepodge of built structure of our current site. They estimate it would be less expensive to build new than refurbish the old. They estimated to build a new would run in a range of 8 to 10,000 plus an annual host fee of 100 to 150,000, $125 to $150 annual yearly host fee. Their ultimate goal includes buildings so that our internal staff can manage content easily with little to no need to regular maintenance, including updates on any plugins or automated backups 24 hours. They would offer training to our staff to upload content. The group briefly reviewed the committee's research assignments from the prior meeting and website features that we each found worthy of review by everyone else. The group encouraged to review each other's highlighted below compared with their other own notes. Mr. Gray will highlight Heights, Mr. Bittner, particularly like Wycliffe sites, the simplicity of the homepage with links to everything else. Ms. Wong particularly like the sites of Kirtland and Cleveland Heights. Ms. Thompson particularly like the calendar function that was Bay Village uses. Next tentative set meeting is July 2nd at 6:30 to review the Savage Innovation proposal and group's additional research features we would like to see. Adjournment was 7:47 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance Committee.
The ordinance committee met on last night on June 10th at 6:30 p.m. For the purpose of reviewing ongoing business as well as a new review of the animal and feral cat ordinances. Present were all members of the committee as well as council members, Mr. Johnson, Ms. Thompson, invited guest Chief Forsyth, and several members of the public. We started by reviewing the special event permit fee, which was old business under 86404, and the committee had determined that the work effort required to process permit applications for most larger special events is commensurate with the current application fee of $100. Further, to remain fair to smaller groups such as resident block parties, it was decided that the mayor's discretionary judgment should prevail with regard to reduction or waiver of permit fees and without further requirements for transparency in these decisions. Thus, this committee recommends to council that ordinance 86404 for special event permits remain as is with no modifications. On the short-term rental regulation legislation, the committee have agreed to a near final version of this. We anticipate this work exiting committee after the law director has had an opportunity to review and comment. Next, the committee reviewed parking ordinances with input from the police department about safety and nuisance complaints. The plans to adjust parking ordinances 45201 and 03 for improved clarification of street parking allowances and restrictions, and to research further how to manage parking of large construction vehicles in residential areas. Next, the committee reviewed a draft addition to the existing chapter 648 peace disturbances that calls for general enforcement of any sound deemed unreasonable by the responding police officer based on context, including activity in question, time of day, day of week, etc., and based on his or her judgment. Some specific activities such as construction work, landscaping, and snow removal are time restricted. However, in a reversal of opinion from the previous meeting, the group were overwhelmingly against creating a general noise curfew or quiet hours in the city with a single dissenter. Draft revisions of this addition to the ordinance will be reviewed at the next meeting. Finally, the committee reviewed animal ordinances 618, 13, 19, and 20 as they relate to the feral cat colony explosion and related nuisance issues in the Fern Goldenrod area. While current law offers the potential for colony control, application and enforcement have been challenging for multiple reasons. Discussion focused on how ordinances could be improved to help, however, no good solutions are apparent. More research will explore the many suggestions that were brought up during this meeting. Therefore, much of the business on this agenda is expected to be addressed again at the next ordinance committee meeting, which still requires scheduling tonight. The meeting was adjourned at 8:55 p.m. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Any other boards, committees, or commissions that met? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to open to the public to speak. If you'd like to speak, please come to the lectern, state your name and address for the record. Hearing none, we'll close this portion, open to the public to speak. Move on to legislation for council. Ordinance number 2024-0-06. You could please read it by its title.
Ordinance number 2024-0-06, second reading. An ordinance creating new section 250-23 in order to require council to approve all reemployment of retired city employees and declaring an emergency.
Any discussion on this tonight? Yes.
I would suggest that in light of the fact that we do have an offer from administration drafting a policy as such that we allow this to go on to third reading, to see what they come up with before council suspending the bills and legislating the issue.
I will say that this is not in lieu of a policy. That a policy still needs to exist. This is to require that council is part of the discussion on the budgetary considerations that did not happen on either of these two retiree hires. And I think that is our function. And it should be part of our job to do that. And because there isn't trust in the administration to bring that to us for that discussion, I think we have to require it. Anybody else? Is there any motions tonight? Hearing none, this will go on third reading. Resolution number 2024-R-20, if you please read it by its title.
Resolution number 2024-R-20, a resolution approving the 2025 budget.
Okay, any questions on this? As you know, it has to go for 3 readings. We have a public hearing that will be scheduled later. For July 9th, 7 p.m. So we will move on. That will go on to second reading. Resolution number 2024-R-21, if you could please read it by its title.
Resolution number 2024-R-21, a resolution authorizing the adoption of an alternative method of appropriating the local government fund and declaring an emergency.
Are there any questions on this? Any discussion tonight?
We just got some of that information at like 12:30 today and like to have some time to look over that.
Agreed.
Okay, this will move on to second reading then. Old business, is there any old business tonight? Anybody have any new business tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on to announcements. It's open to the public to speak. If you'd like to speak, please come to the lectern and state your name and address for the record. Seeing as nobody did last time, I'm guessing not again. Okay, we'll close this portion open to the public to speak. Moving on to announcements and settings and meetings. First of all, your summer recess is going to have to change. As you know, we now have to meet on July 9th for the public hearing and for the third reading of resolution 2024-R-20. You will also need to meet the end of July for the charter review. So there will not be a recess in July. We're gonna have to make a motion to rescind the recess of July 9th, since we've already made a motion to have it. Is there a motion to rescind the July 9th recess? Motion made by Mr. Gray, seconded by Ms. Wong. Roll call, please, on rescinding the July 9th recess.
Mrs. Thompson. Aye. Mrs. Moore.
Aye.
Mr. Gray.
Aye.
Mr. Bittner.
Aye.
Ms. Wong.
Aye.
Mr. Lunder. Mr. Johnson.
Aye. All right. We have on the agenda, we have Citizens Advisory Committee Wednesday, June 12th at 6:30 PM. That's correct. Lake Overlook Forum is Thursday, June 13th at 7 PM. I expect everybody to be there. Service committee, except for our clerk, she doesn't have to. Service Committee, Monday, June 17th at 6:30 PM. Is that correct?
Yes.
Community Development Committee, Tuesday, July 2nd at 6:30 PM. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. We have the public hearing on 2024-R-20 on July 9th at 7 PM. We have the regular agenda meeting, Thursday, June 20th, 2024 at 6 PM, the regular meeting of council, June 25th, 2024 at 7 PM. Are there any other boards, committees, or commissions that need to be scheduled
Planning and
before the next council meeting?
Oh.
That one doesn't need to be scheduled already. So.
And charter review Tuesday, the 18th at 6 PM.
Okay, charter review is Tuesday, the 18th at 6 PM for anybody who wishes to attend. Anything else?
I think we're, before,
I'm sorry.
you're talking ordinance.
We do need it. We have to schedule that because Skip had left. So
What I'm saying is, are we gonna do them before the next council meeting? A lot of town, he's out of town. That's why we pushed the community out.
then I guess not. I mean, can we schedule that before we run out of?
Yeah, you can schedule it now.
Sure.
Yeah. When are you back? Kevin?
I'm good actually, anytime. Recently started. For the 24th. Or leave again.
Does July 8th work?
We could. So that was before the next meeting, so,
What's that?
yes, that's before the next conference.
Okay,
And the room's available.
thank you, Jess. So Monday, July 8th at 6:30 PM for ordinance committee.
Yes.
Is that 6 PM or 6:30 PM?
6:30.
6:30. All right.
Did you get some? You get some? You're not. Okay.
All right, so we have the ordinance committee Monday, July 8th at 6:30 PM. Is there any other committees that need to be?
Motion to
Mr.
adjourn.
President. So, overview. What time does he charter review?
It's at 6 PM.
16, thank you. Motion for.
Not used to you sitting over there, I'm used to, never mind. I'm like, wait.
Sorry.
Now, motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Wong, second by Mr. Bittner for adjournment. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Thompson. Aye. Mrs. Moore.
Aye.
Mr. Gray.
Aye.
Mr. Bittner.
Aye.
Ms. Wong.
Aye.
Mr. Lunder. Mr. Johnson.
Aye, this meeting is adjourned.
Welcome. Next time I'll clean it up.
Sorry, it was the references that Axel had sent. I just forwarded that email to everybody because I think, because I don't think everyone got that one either.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
I went back and
Parker. Oh, well, you did good. Okay, you got it. Oh.
Go back to you.
So, yeah, that was the first time using it, so trying to figure out how to send the file to my laptop or send it to a file that I can open it, because when I first opened it, it was just like all the characters. What? Okay. Well, so it took me a minute, but I should have cleaned it up and I did, I just so excited that it worked.
Said I messed up
So.
ordinance for, an 06, whatever.
Yeah, so the minutes, yeah, I'll show you.